my name is Antonio Ferrer and this is my partner,
Nicole Polish.
and we will be doing a video on psychological and ethical egoism. Thank you. So, first of all, what is psychological egoism? Psychological egoism states that human actions are based on self-interest, versus the idea of ethical egoism that states that moral actions is one that is based on self-interest. So, we always seek to fulfill our desires in a way that will indulge our self-satisfaction and create a sense of help. We do not seek to do things voluntarily, but because there is something at the other side of the rainbow. For example, a company like Coca-Cola donates $100 million to an NGO. They are not doing it because they want to. They are doing it because it improves their brand reputation and reinforces their corporate social responsibility. After all, we seek to help due to the idea of pity. When we see someone suffering, we do not help them because they are suffering. We help them because we imagine ourselves in that position and how it might affect us as an individual. It's not because of them, it's because of us. Let's go.
As Antonio said before, although it is a peculiar approach to
Peculiar!
I do believe that psychological egoism is a concept that applies to every human being. I believe so because people perform certain actions and base their decisions on whether the results will be in their best interest and will benefit them. There is an example where Abraham Lincoln portrays this concept in a real-life situation. He's riding a coach with some other men and suddenly he stops to rescue some pigs that were going to drown in a puddle of mud. His reactions when returning to the coach was, "Why, bless your soul, Ed. That was the very essence of selfishness. I should have had no peace of mind all day had I gone and left that suffering old sow worrying over those pigs. I did it to get a peace of mind, don't you see?" This shows that the concept of psychological egoism has been evident as far as 200 years ago, demonstrating that humans do act selfishly and that they do perform certain actions based upon what would be their best self-interest. We would like to acknowledge a counter-argument to our claim. The mere fact that you act on your own desires does not mean that you are acting selfishly. It depends on what it is that you desire. If you care only about your welfare and give no thought for others, then you are selfish. But if you also want other people to be happy, then you act on that desire, then you are not selfish. Therefore, this argument goes wrong in just about every way that an argument can go wrong. The premises are not true, and even if they were true, the conclusion would not follow from them.
Yet, as Ayn Rand said, rational selfishness is the principle that an action is rational if and only if it maximizes one's self-interest. So even though they are doing it voluntarily, they are doing it for their self-interest. So it is egoistic. Thank you. So, does ethical egoism effectively address real-world problems like conflict of interest and impartiality? Yes, it does. For example, if I want to go to do a community service in Morovis and I really want to do it helping people who lost their houses in the hurricane, yet there's one in Guaynabo, and it's the same thing but it's closer, I'm going to go to the one in Guaynabo, and that's a conflict of interest. But I want to go to the one in Guaynabo because it benefits me more because it's closer. I waste less gas, I waste less time, and yes, it does address conflict of interest. Does ethical egoism address a real-life problem like impartiality?
Well, I believe that ethical egoism does not address real-world problems such as impartiality, because the very concept of ethical egoism states that we perform selfish acts and that everything we do is so that we can benefit from them. On the other hand, impartiality is the equal treatment of all rivals or disputants and fairness. Thus, impartiality is not addressed by egoism because a person makes their decisions and acts in a way that the results will benefit him or her regardless of the fairness of said decisions.
Thank you. So, we believe that everyone takes certain actions for the sake of their own self-interest. They do not things voluntarily, but because they benefit them. Thank you.